you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. Welcome, Carl and Mario. You are our first pair this afternoon. Now, how do you two know each other?
Well, we've known each other for about 7 years now. We met through mutual friends. Our dear friend John, our friendship sort of developed further when John went away and travelling to South America, and he insisted that me and Carl actually bonded further in his absence. And since then, we've been good mates. It's a bit weird, but that's pretty much how it happened.
Very good. Where are you from, Carl?
Originally from Stoke-on-Trent, living in London now for 5 years.
And what do you do in London?
I am a M&E engineer. Basically do building maintenance, look after air conditioning. So if it gets a bit cold in here...
Which it just might.
So, I was assuming it was cold already because Mario's come in a scarf.
Right. You just never know. Better prepared, I think. I've got an umbrella at the back as well, just in case.
Just in case. Well, very best of luck to the pair of you. It's
Thanks
great
so
to have
much.
you here. Next, we welcome back Ken and Angela. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach our final, and this is your second chance. Remind us how you did last time.
We went out on the first round, sadly.
You did. I couldn't believe it.
No.
Classical and opera singers.
Yeah. You'd think that would be our favourite subject, wouldn't you?
I would. I would have thought. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Ken, what are you hoping is going to come up this afternoon? What would be brilliant for you?
I'd like a little bit of sci-fi, maybe. Classic films. Both areas I do know something about, rather than classical opera singers.
And Angela?
Yeah, films for me. I love films. Literature, I'm happy with that. My favourite films, probably of all time, obviously the 3 best films of all times, are The Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
Love Actually, which is a great comedy, right? And The African Queen.
Oh, The African Queen.
Humphrey Bogart,
It's a fabulous film.
Yeah.
It's broad, a broad range of interests. There you are.
Yes, I've been told I've been broad before, thank you.
Well, it's lovely having you back on the show.
Thank you.
And next we welcome Sheridan and Stacey. How do you two know each other?
I've known Sheridan for 16 years, but for the last 7, she's run my hair salon in Selby as my manageress.
She's your manageress. Sheridan, what's she like as a boss? You're right.
Very loud, very bossy,
Well, that's good for a
but
boss.
very kind as well.
Loud, kind and bossy.
Yes.
But what more could you ask for? Well, the very best of luck to the pair of you.
Thank
It's
you.
lovely to have you here. And finally, we welcome back Phil and Mike. You were on the show last time. This is your second crack at the Pointless final. Now, remind us how you did.
We did OK, thank you, Alexander. We got to the head-to-head
Yeah.
and got knocked out in that round, so nearly to the final. But we'll always remember what the ingredients of kedgeree are, so that's a
You
good thing.
certainly will, yes. Phil, remind us what you do.
I work for a shipping and forwarding company in Felixstowe, importing and exporting, dealing with customs, etc.
And what are your hobbies?
Well, a number of hobbies. I get involved in the theatre quite a lot. I do a lot of amateur dramatics, but also I collect signed photographs of celebrities. To wit, Alexander, you are hanging in my toilet at the moment.
Yeah, I hang around there a lot. Am I?
You're in the Rogues Gallery, yeah.
Wow.
You are there.
Oh, am I in good company?
Yeah, you got Rafe Fiennes there and Ricky Gervais and...
Now then, Mike, remind us what you do.
I'm a primary school teacher. Teach
That's
the
exactly
9
right.
to 11-year-olds.
Ah, yes, that's right. With a very broad range of knowledge.
Well, you wouldn't have thought so from the last show.
But this show, boy, are we going to see it.
With a bit of luck.
Well, very best of luck to the pair of you. It's great to have you back.
Thank you.
We'll find out more about all of you throughout the show. There's only one person left for me to introduce. He is obscurity in a suit and shoes. He's my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Oh, yeah.
And what shoes, if I might say?
Yeah, suit shoes, but no trousers, as always. It should be a good show today. I think we have got film coming up, which should please Angela. Angela's got 8 grandchildren, 17 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-grandchild.
That's correct, Richard, yeah.
That is some going.
This is amazing.
She's going to have to earn that jackpot, and if she does, that's not going to go round, is it?
No, really.
She'll say, it's mine, all mine.
That's the way to do it. But it should be a very good show. Lovely to have someone wearing a scarf. That's nice. That's a first. We've had a few hats before. But, of course, Phil and Mike were in the head-to-head last time, and history tells us if you're in the head-to-head, quite often you go all the way the next go. So I suspect they are the pair to beat.
Well, no, thank you very much, Richard. We put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we're after the obscure answers they didn't give. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Now, nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £3,500. Right, let's play Pointless. Now, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, so be very careful that's not you. If anyone gives me an incorrect answer, they will score the maximum of 100 points. So do be careful. OK, our first category this afternoon is film. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Russell Crowe films as they could.
Yeah, we're looking for any feature film made for cinema release for which Russell Crowe has received an acting credit prior to the start of 2011. Short films, TV films, documentaries, that sort of thing don't count, but voice performances do. So any Russell Crowe film, and there are 32 films on the list.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Carla, Mario, you all drew lots before the show, and today you get to go first. What are you thinking? Russell Crowe. Have you seen a lot of Russell Crowe films?
I've seen a few. LA Confidential.
LA Confidential. OK, well, you're hoping to score as few points as possible.
Yes.
Have you seen LA Confidential?
Years ago. So I know it was a while ago, so I'm hoping that... I think he was in it.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. LA Confidential, is that right? And if it is, how many people said LA Confidential? Well, that Mario's right. Wow. That's a great score. Very well done, Mario. LA Confidential, 4 points.
Yeah, well played, Mario. From 1997, it's the film that really made him a star in America. Kim Basinger won an Oscar as well in the same film.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Angela. Angela, Russell Crowe films. You must have seen a few.
I have, yes. Just knowing one that won't get too many points. 310 to Yuma.
310 to Yuma. Let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's right. Look at that. Very, very well done, Angela. That's a brilliant answer. 1 point, Angela.
Well played, Angela. From 2007, Russell Crowe and Christian Bale. Have you seen it?
Yes, I did,
I thought it was rather good. Did you enjoy it?
I liked the original film of it better, but that's because I'm old.
1957 was the original with Glenn Ford.
Yeah, that was good.
That was back in the days when you only had 7 or 8 great-grandchildren, wasn't it, the original?
Yeah, I didn't even have any great-great-grandchildren then. I was practising on how to get children at the time.
Well, you know what?
You all right, Ken? Right, Sheridan. We're looking for Russell Crowe films. What's the most obscure Russell Crowe film
I
you
only
can
know
think
one,
of?
and it will be The Gladiator. That's the only one I know.
You're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see if Gladiator is correct, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Gladiator. 60. It's a lot better than 100.
Yes.
60. Very good. Gladiator.
Yeah, quite a big score for one of these film rounds, though, isn't it? 60. But yeah, he won the Oscar for Gladiator, Russell
That's the only
Crowe.
one I've seen.
Perfectly good answer.
Perfectly good answer. Quite a high score. Phil, we come to you. Russell Crowe films. I have a feeling you're probably quite good at film.
I'm not too bad on films, not that hot on Russell Crowe films, I'll be quite honest, but there's one that does spring to mind, which is the only answer I can think of, apart from the ones already said, and that's A Beautiful Mind.
A Beautiful Mind. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said A Beautiful Mind. That's right. Not a bad score, Phil. 17 for A Beautiful Mind. Rich?
Yeah, well done, Phil. From 2001, he plays the mathematician John Nash and got an Oscar nomination for that one as well.
OK, we're halfway through the rounds. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Well, it's a very broad field. 1 point, Angela and Ken, looking fantastic. That was an amazing answer from you, Angela.
Thank you.
Very, very, very well done. Mario on 4, another great answer
Scarf.
there. It was the scarf, quite possibly, that did it. And then we travel up to 17, where Phil and Mike are looking pretty good. And then 16, Sheridan and Stacey, you are way ahead there. So, Stacey...
We're winning.
keep up that high scoring and you might win an exit from the show at the end of this round. So, Stacey, you're going to have to find a really good, obscure Russell Crowe film. Really, it's not going to happen. It might just dawn on you. You never know. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? Remember, we are looking for Russell Crowe films. Now then, Mike. Phil gave us a great answer there with A Beautiful Mind.
I think I'll go for his earliest film that I can remember, which was Romper Stomper.
Stacey, that was one you were thinking of, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bad luck. There is your red line. Mike, if you can get below that red line with Romper Stomper, you are through to the next round. I have a feeling this one might go a long way down. Let's see, Romper Stomper. Well done, Mike. You're through to the next round. And, oh, 2. That's a great answer. Romper Stomper scores you 2, takes your total up to 19. Richard?
Yeah, from 1992, Australian film, probably the first film where anyone had ever really seen Russell Crowe. Very good answer, and plays sort of a neo-Nazi skinhead. Lovely film for a primary school teacher.
Romper Stomper, a great answer. Stacey, we come to you. We are looking for Russell Crowe films.
I only knew 2 and they've gone.
This is always my favourite bit of any round, where Stacey is going to have to make up the name of a film.
I'm going to go for a cartoon kind of film with a voiceover. So I don't know if it's right, but I'm going to go Madagascar.
Madagascar?
Yeah.
That could be a brilliant answer. It could be a brilliant answer. You are the high scorers on 60, Stacey and Sheridan. Let's see, though, if Madagascar is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Madagascar. Oh, bad luck. Bad luck, Stacey. I'm afraid that is an incorrect answer, which means you scored the maximum of 100 points, which takes your total up to 160, I'm afraid. Richard?
Yeah, unlucky, Stacey. Good news, though, Sheridan, is now you're miles in the lead.
Very good. Now then, Ken, Angela, you are through to the next round, no matter what you say, Ken. However, there's got to be a couple of... must be some pointless Russell Crowe films.
No doubt there are, but I'm not great on Russell Crowe films, so...
But your mum's just... she did so well. The lowest score in the first pass.
Yeah, and I'm relieved about that.
Yeah.
Very relieved. I'm just going to have to play safe.
OK.
Because I don't want to get 100 again. So I'm going to go Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. Did you ever see it?
Yes.
Did he sound Irish or what?
What? Most of the time.
Let's see how many people said Robin Hood. Not a bad score at all for Robin Hood. 25 takes your total up to 26. Richard?
Yeah, well done, Ken, from 2010. And he was supposed to be attempting a Midlands accent. A shocking accent, but a good answer.
So we come to you, Carl. We come to you. The high scorers are Stacey and Sheridan on 160 points. There's no way you can overtake their high score, even if you made something up that was completely wrong.
all what I had in mind have gone. I'm going to have to stick to the old animation theme. I'm going to say Ice Age.
Ice Age.
Yeah.
OK, Ice Age. Let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Ice Age. Good luck, Carl. No, bad luck. I'm afraid that's incorrect. Not that it matters. You're through to the next round anyway, but it scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 104. Richard.
Yeah, not in Ice Age, not in Madagascar. Let's take a look at some of the pointless answers that were on the list. There's quite a few. Quite an obscure category, this one. For the moment, Hammers Over the Anvil and Heaven's Burning, those last two Australian films. Love in Limbo, Mystery Alaska, Proofy, made with Hugo Weaving. Rough Magic, Spotswood and the Silver Brumby. Let's take a look at the most popular answers. These are the ones that most of our 100 people said, and we've already heard all three of them, actually. A Beautiful Mind was number 3. Ken gave us Robin Hood, that was number 2, and Sheridan gave us 60 points for Gladiator, which was the most popular of them all.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score, it's Sheridan and Stacey.
Oh.
Russell Crowe films.
Don't like the man.
He's only good looking in Gladiator. Because he's got that outfit. The rest of them, nah.
Nah. What would have been the best possible subject for you?
Music.
Just music, generally?
Travel.
Hang on. Well, which is it to be? Travel?
I like music and I like travel, because I've
OK.
travelled.
Well, world music, then, maybe?
Maybe. No, not really.
Maybe not. Well, we shall see you again next time, when I'm sure you will stay with us for much, 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 much longer. Hope so, anyway. Meanwhile, thanks very much for playing. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Well, now, obviously, only 2 pairs can make it through to the head-to-head, so one team is going to be leaving us at the end of this round. OK, our category for round 2 is culture. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. And our question for round 2 this afternoon concerns museums and galleries and their cities. In this round, we're about to show you a list of museums and galleries. We asked 100 people to tell us which cities they are located in. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 6 museums and galleries on each pass. The more obscure ones will score you fewer points. If you give us an incorrect answer, if you give us the wrong city, you'll score 100 points. So it's going to be 12 in all, so see how many of those you can get at home.
OK, so we are looking for the cities in which these museums and galleries are found. OK, we have got Uffizi, Ashmolean Museum, Prado, Kunsthistorisches Museum, British Museum, Kelvin Grove. I'll read those one more time. Uffizi, Ashmolean Museum, Prado, Kunsthistorisches Museum, British Museum, Kelvin Grove. OK, Mario. There are the museums and galleries. I want a nice obscure one, and you can tell me which city it's found in.
They're all looking pretty obscure from here. I will have to ask the guess. Uffizi, it reads Italian, so I would go Uffizi, Milan.
You're going to say Uffizi, Milan. As always on Pointless, you're looking to score as few points as possible. OK, well, let's see if it's right. And if it's right, let's see how many people said Uffizi was in Milan. Bad luck, Mario. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. That scores you the maximum of 100 points. Richard.
Yeah, unlucky Mario and Mario Scarf, not in Milan. I won't give you the right answer just in case Angela or Phil want to have a go at the same question.
Now then, Angela, you got the very best answer on that last pass. I think you might be able to pull one out the bag again.
There's only one that I'm actually... Well, I know where 2... Well, I think I know where 2 of them are, but I think really that I'm going to go for the Ashmolean Museum, which I believe is in Oxford.
The Ashmolean, you are saying, is in Oxford. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Ashmolean, Oxford. Well done, Angela, that's right. Down it goes 20, that's a wonderful score. Very well done, you. Ashmolean, Oxford, Richard.
Yeah, very well played, Angela. It was founded in 1683. It's Britain's oldest public museum. Can I ask you a question, Angela?
You certainly can.
If you've got 17 great-grandchildren,
Yeah.
how does one go about remembering the names of 17 great-grandchildren?
You just have a good memory.
Can you reel them off?
Yeah, I certainly can, if this is what you want. Right. Now, my great-grandchildren are Leonard and Sylvia, which are my son's 2 grandchildren. Right, and then there is... Just a second. Oh, do you know, I could go off you, Richard. I really do.
I
thought you were fantastic. Do you know what?
I believe that you can name all 17.
I could.
I won't put you through it.
I really thought this because when I was coming on the show, they said to me, why would you like to come on the show? And I said, because Richard's sense of humour actually cracks me up. I then said, of course, Alexander, you wouldn't kick him out of bed, would you?
How did you break that foot again?
I tripped over some fresh air.
Right. You weren't kicking anyone out of bed or anything?
That's for me to know and you to find out.
OK. Very good. Now then, Phil. Remember, we're looking for the cities in which these museums and galleries are found. There are the museums and galleries. What I need from you is a nice, obscure museum and gallery. I have a feeling you will probably know all of these.
Well, you're wrong, Alexander.
Really?
But thanks for your
You're the last person to have this board, so you can talk us through these cultural landmarks.
Right, OK. Well, there's obviously one there which is quite obvious. The British Museum one.
You don't have to be coy. You can say where.
Well, I believe the British Museum is in London, so. Yeah. However, I don't think I'm necessarily going to go for that one. I might take a punt on another one to get a low points on. I think I'm going to go because of the title of the Kunsthistorisches Museum, German. I'm going to say Berlin for that one.
Kunsthistorisches Museum, Berlin. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Kunsthistorisches Museum, Berlin. Bad luck, Phil. I'm afraid that is an incorrect answer, which scores you the maximum of 100 points. Richard.
Yeah, not Berlin, I'm afraid. It's in Vienna, the Kunsthistorisches Museum, which, of course, it's a museum about the history of art in Vienna, the Kunsthistorisches Museum. Let's take a look at the rest of the board. Mario, you're right that Uffizi is in Italy, but it's in Florence. I'm afraid would have scored you 11 points. Kelvingrove, Alexander, do you know
Glasgow.
that? It's in Glasgow. It's the most visited museum in the UK outside London. Kelvingrove would have scored 12. Prado is in Madrid, would have scored 7. And the British Museum, of course, is in London, but would have scored a fairly hefty 90, so not many less than 100. But very well done if you've got the Kunsthistorisches Museum. That's the best answer on the board.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. We're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores at the moment. On 20, look there again, Angela and Ken. Halfway through the round, the strongest players. And then we zip up quite substantially to 100 points, where Mario and Carl and Phil and Mike are drawn. So, Carl and Mike, you're going to have to fight this out, see who stays with us and who leaves us at the end of this round. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more museums and galleries on the board, and here they are. We have got Galleria Borghese, the Louvre, Fitzwilliam, Hermitage, Walker Art Gallery, Anne Frank House. Let me read those again. Galleria Borghese, the Louvre, Fitzwilliam, Hermitage, Walker Art Gallery, Anne Frank House. Now, remember, we're looking for the cities in which these museums and galleries are located. And you're obviously trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now, Mike, you're the high scorers. Joint high scorers.
OK. The one which stands out, which I think might be OK, is the Fitzwilliam, which is in Cambridge.
Fitzwilliam, Cambridge, you are saying. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Fitzwilliam, Cambridge. Well done. Very well done. 7 points for that. Takes your total up to 107. Richard.
Yeah, founded by the 7th Viscount Fitzwilliam of Merion. Fitzwilliam in Cambridge gave it all his art and antique collection.
OK, now then, Ken. Remember, we're looking for the cities in which these museums and galleries are found. Your mother set you up fantastically well with that brilliant answer on the first pass. The high scorers are Mike and Phil on 107. If you can score 86 or less with this answer, you are easily through to the next round.
I'm going to have to play safe. I hate myself for it if it's too many, but I'm going to go for Anne Frank House in Amsterdam.
Anne Frank House, Amsterdam. Here's your red line. It's quite nice and high. Look at that. Let's see if Anne Frank House in Amsterdam will get you below that red line. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Anne Frank Amsterdam. It's right, and you're through. Wow. Surprisingly low score. That scores you 36 points, takes your total up to 56. Richard?
Yeah, very well played, Ken. Very good answer. Safely through to the next round. Opened to the public in 1960, Anne Frank House.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now, Carl and Mario, you are on 100 points. High scorers are Mike and Phil on 107. If you can score 6 or less, Carl, you are through to the next round. Anything over 6 points, we will be saying goodbye to you.
Not me strong.
Talk us through the board, Carl. Talk us through the board, and if there's anything on there.
Galleries not really my strongest subject, and museums. I'm going to have to go with Walker Art Gallery in Leicester.
The Walker Art Gallery in Leicester, you are saying. OK, well, you're on 100 points. Here's your red line coming in. It's quite low, I'm afraid. But if the Walker Art Gallery is right, and it is in Leicester, you could possibly be through to the head-to-head. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said the Walker Art Gallery, Leicester. No, bad luck, Carl. I'm afraid that is an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points, taking your total up to an unbeatable 200 points. Richard?
It's actually in Liverpool, the Walker Art Gallery. A very fine art gallery up in Liverpool, well worth a visit. Would have scored 3 points. If you'd said the Louvre, you wouldn't have got through. It scores a pretty hefty 79 points in Paris, of course. The Hermitage, do you know that, Alexander?
Moscow, is it?
It's in St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg.
I went there very recently. It's absolutely extraordinary. If you get the chance, you should definitely go and see it. It's an amazing place. Would have scored 11 points. And Galleria Borghese is in Rome and would have scored 6 points. The Walker Art Gallery is the best answer there, so well done if you said that.
OK, thanks very much indeed, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of round 2, I'm afraid it's Carl and Mario, 200 points. That was a tough category if you don't know your galleries and museums. Sadly, you didn't arrive at the right answers, but it is all looking very good for next time, when hopefully we'll have more subjects that you are comfortable with. But meanwhile, thanks very much for playing.
Thanks very much.
Great. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are going to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Very well done. Ken and Angela, Phil and Mike, you've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £3,500. Now, you're going to go head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. For each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, and you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The first pair to get to the best of 3 will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here's your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many world #1 ranked golfers as they could. Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 13 male golfers who've been world ranked #1 in the official world golf rankings from when they started in 1986 through to the beginning of 2011.
OK, thanks very much. Ken and Angela, because you played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. OK, we have an answer from Ken and Angela. What's it going to be?
Seve Ballesteros.
Seve Ballesteros. OK. So, Phil and Mike. You can now talk out loud.
I don't know, what do you think? Do you know anything else, is it? Anything else should have? That seems like a good answer. I don't know about Podrick Harrington could be, but OK. Yeah, go on.
We'll go for Ernie Els.
Ernie Els. OK, so we have Sevi Ballesteros and we have Ernie Els. Ken and Angela said Sevi Ballesteros. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. That's right. Ooh, very good. Very well done, Ken and Angela. Lovely low score there. Phil and Mike have gone for Ernie Els. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said that. Oh, well done. Very good. Ernie Els beats it. So, after the first question, Phil and Mike are up 1-0. Richard.
Yeah, 2 good answers there. There were actually 4 pointless answers in this round out of those 13 golfers. Let's take a look at all the names on the list. Tom Lehman, the American, he was world #1 for 1 week. Nick Price, the Zimbabwean, 44 weeks. Ian Woosnam was a pointless answer. Fred Couples, also a pointless answer, the American. David Duval, 1 point. Bernhard Langer, the German, 3 points. Vijay Singh is the oldest man to have reached world #1 at 41. He would have scored you 4 points. Greg Norman, who was world #1 for 331 weeks all in, would have scored 6. There's Ernie Els on 8. Nick Faldo, 16 points. There's Sevi Ballesteros on 18. Lee Westwood, the man who ended Tiger Woods' reign, on 18. And Tiger Woods right up the top on 86. He's been world #1 for 623 weeks.
A lot of weeks.
Yeah, that's more than 10 years' worth of weeks.
OK, here is your second question. Ken and Angela, you have to win this question to stay in the game. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many EU countries that have flags made up of 2 colours as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any countries that belong to the EU whose flag consists of just 2 colours. That excludes any crests. They can have a crest or coat of arms on them as well. But flags with just 2 colours. And that's prior to the start of 2011.
OK, now Phil and Mike, you get to go first this time.
OK, the one that comes to mind, which is, we think it's only got 2 colours, red and white, is Poland.
OK, Poland, you say. Ken and Angela, you can now talk out loud.
Not doing great. We're not doing great. I'm going to go for Greece. Yep, got to go. Greece.
OK, you're going to say Greece. Phil and Mike have gone for Poland. You are going for Greece. Phil and Mike, if you win this question, you go through to the final. Ken and Angela, you have to win this question to stay in the game. OK, in the order they were given, Phil and Mike have said Poland. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Poland. That's right. Eleven for Poland. Ken and Angela have said Greece. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. You have to win this to stay in the game, Ken and Angela. It's right. Will it go down as far as Poland? Bad luck. Yes, Poland wins that one. So after 2 questions, Phil and Mike are through to the final. 2-0. Richard.
Yeah, unlucky, Ken and Angela. Good answers on both of those questions, but you came up against a very, very good team. There were 3 answers that would have beaten Poland. Poland is red and white, and all the ones that beat it were red and white as well. Let's take a look. The Maltese flag would have scored you 1 point. That's divided half and half, red and white, with a Maltese cross in the corner. Latvia would have scored you 1 point. Austria, very similar to the Latvian flag, would have scored you 8. There's Poland. Finland, which is white with a blue cross, would have scored 11 as well. Portugal, which is red and green, would have scored 13. Denmark, red and white, again 15. Sweden, blue and yellow, 18. Greece, blue and white, of course, 19. And Spain, red and yellow on 36.
Thank you very much, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, I'm afraid it's Ken and Angela. Oh, dear. We've had a fantastic, fantastic game with you, though, this afternoon. You've been just amazing. Brilliant, low answers in both of the first 2 rounds.
Strange to say, I was going to say Malta, and then I thought, I'm not 100% sure, and I know with Greece.
It's been lovely having you on the show. It's such a shame to say
Thank you.
goodbye to you. You're
Yeah.
brilliant, brilliant contestants. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
But for Phil and Mike, it's now time for our pointless final and a chance to win our jackpot of £3,500. Well, congratulations, Phil and Mike. You've fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £3,500. Now, the rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. Now, we haven't had any pointless answers on the show today. You only have to find one now. You will go home with that money. Firstly, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. Here they are: fashion, authors, baseball.
I think we know.
I don't think it's going to be fashion, is it?
I'm quite fashionable in my own way.
Yeah, that's right. No, baseball's a no-go unless it's names of teams. I'm not too sure. No. I think it's got to be the authors one, hasn't it?
I think so. Yes,
yeah,
I think authors. It's got to be.
It's got to be authors.
So authors it is.
Yeah.
Very good. Let's find out what the question is. Any particular area within authors where you'd feel comfortable?
Just ones we know would be nice.
Enid Blyton's quite good.
Children's authors could be okay.
Yeah.
So anything like that would be good.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Well, very best of luck. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many winners of the Nobel Prize in Literature as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any person who's been awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature up to and including the 2010 recipient. In years where there's been more than one, we will accept each one as an individual answer. Very best of luck.
Yeah, I'll echo that. Very best of luck. You now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £3,500 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Okay. Your 60 seconds start now.
Okay. I know 2 of them.
Who are you going to say?
Harold Pinter.
Right.
Harold Pinter and Seamus Heaney.
And I was going to say Salman Rushdie as a third
Salman
one.
Rushdie, so...
I think it's pretty... Didn't he win the Nobel Prize for Literature? I think
he has done.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So you're going to have you with those 3 straight away? Because he's the only one that I can think of.
2 I can think of.
Oh, well, there you go then.
Yeah,
3 straight away.
3.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, there we are. Brilliant. Stop the clock?
Yes.
OK, clock is stopped. Well, that was quick. We were looking for winners of the Nobel Prize in Literature. I now need your 3 answers.
Seamus Heaney.
Seamus Heaney.
Harold Pinter.
Harold Pinter.
And Salman Rushdie.
And Salman Rushdie. Of those 3, which do you reckon is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Seamus Heaney.
Yeah.
Seamus Heaney. We'll put him up last. Which do you think is your least likely to be pointless?
Salman Rushdie. Quite a lot of people would have.
Fair enough. Yeah.
We'll put Salman Rushdie first then, and we'll put Seamus Heaney last and Pinter in the middle. OK, let's put them up on the board in that order. Here they are. Salman Rushdie, Harold Pinter, and Seamus Heaney. There they are. OK, we were looking for winners of the Nobel Prize in Literature. You said this was your least confident answer. Yeah. Remember, you only have to find one pointless answer to win that £3,500 jackpot. So let's see if Salman Rushdie is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. How confident are you feeling?
Not... Now it's up there, I'm not that confident, but we'll see how it goes.
He certainly won some prizes. Yeah. Has he won that one? Let's see. Salman Rushdie. OK, well, you weren't that confident in that one anyway. Even if he had one, you thought that was going to be a popular choice. Absolutely. So unfortunately, that's not a pointless answer, but that's just as well. You have 2 left, and these are 2 you are absolutely certain of.
Pretty sure.
We were looking for... we were looking for winners of the Nobel Prize in Literature. This is your second answer, Harold Pinter. You're very confident of this. This has to be pointless, though, if you should win that jackpot, £3,500. What would you do with £3,500?
Well, I have a baby daughter who's 5 months old who was... I think I'd just love to do some really nice things for her. It'd be lovely.
Very good. Phil, top that.
I'm going to spend it. Yeah. No, well, I've got a 5-year-old son, so and it's his mother's wish to take him to Lapland. So,
fantastic! Very good.
He'll want to go now if he hears this on the TV, of course. So we'll have to win.
You better had. You better had. Okay,
take him anyway now.
Yeah.
Harold Pinter is your second answer. Yep. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Harold Pinter. Well, it's right. You knew it was right. You were very confident it was right. It has now to go down all the way to 0 if you're going to win that £3,500 jackpot. Into single figures, 7. But then he won it very famously, and, you know, a lot of people will have remembered that picture of him in his hat. Yeah. Stuck in the mind, you see. Seamus Heaney, on the other hand, far more anonymous, I'm sure.
Hope so. Hope so.
Thanks, Alexander. Yeah.
I'm absolutely certain. You only have one more chance to win today's jackpot, and Seamus Heaney is the man who is or isn't going to carry you over that threshold. Absolutely. You said this was the answer without any... I don't think there seemed to be any discussion. You said this was the answer you were most confident with?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Obviously, it has to be right.
Yeah.
And then it has to be pointless.
Yeah.
For you to win that £3,500 jackpot. Fingers tightly crossed.
Absolutely. Come on, let's win this.
OK, Seamus Heaney, is it right? How many people said it? This for the jackpot of £3,500. Very, very best of luck. There we are, it's right.
Come on.
It's right.
Down to 0. Come on.
Down it goes. This is your third and final chance to win our jackpot of £3,500. Down it goes. Still, oh no!
Good answers. Good answers.
5.
Good answers.
Well, you put them in the right order, but unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, but you couldn't find that all-important, pointless answer. So that jackpot will go over to the next show. But you have been fantastic contestants. You do, of course, get to take home our pointless trophy.
Thank you.
Richard.
Yeah, guys, you played so well throughout this. That's tough luck. If there were some big names, though, that were pointless answers, Gabriel Garcia Marquez was pointless, W.B. Yeats. I'll show you a few more up here, though. Bertrand Russell won it. Eugene O'Neill, the American playwright, won it in 1936. The Chilean Gabriela Mistral was a pointless answer. Jean-Paul Sartre was a pointless answer. John Galsworthy, author of the Forsyte Saga. Luigi Pirandello, probably most famous for 6 Characters in Search of an Author. Maurice Maeterlinck, Samuel Beckett, absolutely was a pointless answer. And the very first winner of all, the French essayist and poet Sully Prudhomme, was a pointless answer. Very well done if you got any of those at home. And very tough luck, guys. It was very well played.
Well, unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, Phil and Mike, but it's been brilliant having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing. Great contestants. Nobody's won our jackpot today, so it rolls over, which means on the next show we will be playing for £4,500. Join us next time, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.